Hello, I'm Paul.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Ben.
And welcome to FilmBusters.
Endgame.
FilmBusters.
Wait, I've totally forgotten what the Avengers theme tune is.
There isn't one.
Yeah,
that's the Avengers theme fucking tune, isn't it? For a while there, I thought, yeah, it actually is. That is the tune. No.
Avengers wish they had a theme tune like that.
That is a beautiful
the best
theme
one.
tune.
That's a beautiful tune.
It is.
Doesn't bode well for Avengers that immediately we started talking about Game of Thrones. First 30 seconds of the podcast.
Oh.
I can't believe we have these two things like in this
In a
one
week.
long weekend. It's mental.
Do you think one will overshadow the other?
Yes.
We shall see.
Let's find out.
On Who Wants to Be
A Millionaire. So yes, everyone, this is our Avengers Endgame podcast episode. Everyone's been looking forward to this, haven't we, guys?
Very much
Yeah.
so.
But first, we go to the quiz, which is the staple of the episode, which we always do. If someone hasn't listened to this podcast before, we do a quiz.
Then go
where
back
I
and
ask
listen to
two
the rules of the other
questions.
podcast. We have to listen
Yes,
to Paul explain them.
They could technically do that, yes, Adam. But if they just want to like quickly hear the rules, basically ask two questions to Adam and Ben. If they get them right, they get a point. If they get them wrong, I get the point. So far, Ben is on 7, Adam is on 2, and I am on 5.
Very good. I'm very excited to extend the lead. So you could catch me up today, couldn't you?
I really need to win these to
Yes.
stay in this.
Okay, this goes to the first question. Name this tagline, which I love asking. I love taglines.
You do. Taglines, very popular questions this year.
Yeah, so name this tagline. Part of the journey is the end.
Return of the King, Lord of the Rings.
Wrong.
Ugh.
Part of the journey is the end.
Oh, fuck, I know exactly what it is.
Is it Return of the Jedi?
It's Avengers Endgame!
Oh, is it? Oh, shit, I thought that was well too obvious.
The tagline for Avengers Endgame was like 22 movies, 11 years?
No, it's part
No,
of the
that's
journey
definitely
is
not
end.
the tagline.
It was.
22 movies, 11 years, no.
This
Do you
is
know what I
bollocks.
thought the answer was going to be after I gave the wrong answer? World's End, the Simon Pegg film.
This next one's very easy, so if you don't get it, then you're very stupid.
Oh.
Shall I say it?
Yeah.
I'm nervous now.
Okay. When Neo experiences deja vu in The Matrix, what animal does he see?
Oh.
Is it a cow?
What did you just say? A cow?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
I don't actually know the answer, so I'm going to say a chicken.
The only reason I'm saying that is because at school, all I can remember is
What
they
is it?
showed us
It's
a
a
video.
cat!
A cat.
It's a cat!
I think we should both
man.
get points because we got the first letter right.
How did you not know
It's
that? I
true.
thought that was so easy.
Really?
I need to revisit and watch all of The Matrix again.
Yeah. Don't you remember he's looking in the doorway, the cat passes in the doorway, and he looks again, and the cat passes again, it does a little
I'm
shake.
well out of touch.
Oh, that is a shame.
That's foolish on my part. Very silly.
What is a shame is that I'm now on
Bullshit.
7.
He's on 7. He's caught me up with a cat question. Fucking cat question and Avengers question.
And you've got a cat sitting outside your door right now, Ben.
I know,
He's in
you're
the
looking
room.
at it.
He's in the room looking at me, chastising me for getting
You're
the question
getting the
wrong.
deja vu.
Yeah, I am. I'm in it.
Should we get on with this?
Yeah.
Hurry up.
Okay, so
Fucking my end game's going to be here soon.
Yeah, very good.
let's go on to the main event.
Yeah, hurry it up.
The main event. Here is our feature topic, plus Adam might do a rubbish plot summary.
Are you fucking serious?
Right, guys, so we are talking about Avengers Endgame. This will be a spoiler episode, so if you don't want to hear spoilers, you better turn off now. So,
Don't spoil the end game.
Adam,
What?
would you like to explain the plot?
So basically, this is the end. Well, the ending quotations of the Avengers saga that we know and we've loved over many years.
Not
This
all of
follows
us.
directly on from the last one, which was Infinity War, which everybody died. and now we're going to
Nobody
basically find
died.
out how everyone's going to come back to life and how they can make it all right.
Yeah, that was alright.
Yeah.
What else do you want me
That's
to say?
There were two glaring inaccuracies.
What?
Not all of us loved it,
Oh,
and not
stop being a
anybody
twat.
died. Nobody died. Not
Well,
for
but half the cast died in the end of the last film.
None
Two
of
people
them
died.
died.
Two people died.
No,
Yes,
in
two
the end of the
people
last
died.
Infinity
One was
War.
called Vision and one was called Loki. That was it. That's all that died in Infinity War.
3 people died, and Luther died.
I don't even care who Luther is. Who
Idris
is that?
Elba. Idris Elba died.
Oh God, what's the point in him?
Anyway, let's find out the scores then. I would say Ben go first with this one.
Okay,
Oh,
go on.
well,
That's nice.
I've watched over the last week or two 5 or 6 Marvel films that I hadn't seen before because I thought I want a little bit more colour and context for this final one. And the one I enjoyed the most out of them was Thor Ragnarok. And I actually enjoyed this film on the same level as Thor Ragnarok, and for that reason I am giving it an 8 out of 10.
Very nice.
Okay, Paul.
Okay, I've literally just come out of the cinema, so
Yeah,
probably
half
been about
hour ago.
Yeah, about 20 minutes, half an hour. So it is very, very fresh. I haven't even got all my thoughts together yet, but I'm giving this film a 10 out of 10.
Fucking just like last year, you ass, you
Yes.
absolute brat.
Okay, so with me,
This
when I
brat.
came out of it yesterday, I was thinking, this is the first time I've watched a superhero film in a long time. With
No, it's not.
no,
Mate, you
listen,
watch
let me
superhero
finish the
films every
sentence.
fortnight.
Let me finish the sentence.
Don't
Shush,
do a
shush,
pause.
shush.
Don't do a
Shush,
pause.
shush. Yeah, you can't just jump in where I almost had enough of superhero films. So when I was watching this film, I was looking at a different view from what I've watched other films before. And when I walked out, my initial reaction, I'd give it an 8. But since thinking about it, I've started to appreciate it a little bit more, and I am starting to head towards a 9. But I'm very unsure in my head.
My
what I
friend,
think.
pick your number.
I'm going to go an 8.
You always wishy-washy. Exactly. Like I said, go with the gut.
And do you know what my main problem with this film was?
Let's
Tell
get
us.
into it.
The fact that this film, I get that it's a superhero film, I get that it's for kids, I get that it's a 12A and whatever, but this is the end. This is the end game. This is when they had the big chance to finish it all off. Yes, we did lose, massive spoilers here, Iron Man. Yes, we lost Black Widow. And yes, Captain America left. But it didn't feel like anybody else was at risk. Even in that massive battle at the end, everybody was too safe. If they had dropped a character here and there, if they had dropped, I don't know, let's talk like Winston Duke's character, for example. If they had just killed someone like him, it doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be massive. Or even when the building collapsed at the end and Thanos came back and he shot the hell out of it. Maybe if, I know Hawkeye had quite a big part to play in that sequence, but even if someone like him had died, when they're going into that massive final battle at the end, then I'd have been on the edge of my seat thinking, yes, this is it. People are going to drop left, right and centre here, even if they didn't. But they didn't, and everyone felt too safe, and which is why it annoyed me a little bit. I thought, let's go in with some balls now, let's go in with some guts, and let's try and give these people an ending that they almost deserve.
I totally agree with you. As soon as everyone started arriving in the portals, I was like, okay, this is very. No one's gonna die. Like a lot of people are gonna die because the enjoyment bar has been raised. Where it's like, oh yeah, this is fun. This is fun. It's more the fun of it. They're not gonna kill your enjoyment by killing off all these people because it's not that moment.
I know
The moment was just for the Iron
It's
Man
just-
moment. As soon as Iron Man dies, you're like, okay, no one else is dying now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I mean,
yeah.
Iron Man had a good death, but his death was to sacrifice himself for the greater good. And both
It was
the big
beautiful,
character
mate. It
deaths
was
in this
beautiful.
film were very predictable, and you could see them coming. As soon as Doctor Strange turned his finger and gave him the one signal, you were like, okay, that obviously means that you're going to have to sack. You're the only reason. By you dying is the only way.
Yeah, but actually, we knew that at the end of Infinity War.
Yeah.
Because the reason that Strange sacrifices himself at that point is because he knows that Iron Man is the only one who's going to defeat Thanos. And, like, reading between the fucking lines, you know that it meant he had to die.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
of
it's
course.
like it was confirmed at that moment. And with the Black Widow death as well, it was like as soon as you knew they were going to get the Soul Stone, you knew one of them two was dead. I don't know why that blue girl should have been like, just so you know, when you go to that place, one of you has to die for you to get the stone.
Yeah, she probably could.
So let's just keep that in the back of your head.
I really like that sequence with Black Widow. And
Yeah, it was good. It kept me on because you didn't know who was going to die. And I thought, honestly, going into it, I thought it was Hawkeye. But you knew someone was going.
This is it. So I thought it was Hawkeye because why are they talking about doing a Black Widow film?
It's going to be in the past.
It's too late, Black Widow now. Black Widow, too late now.
I know, this is too late. So
the only reason she's going to do it is because you're going to find out about this job in Budapest.
I know, who cares?
Yeah.
Anyway, I was very glad that Jeremy Renner was not the one who died, because even when they were combating, that was probably my favourite part of the film, when the two of them were struggling to be the one to kill themselves. But I was thinking, no, Renner is the one who's got something to live for. Black Widow has nothing to live for. She's got no family, whatnot. He's fighting for his fucking wife and kids, man. He wants them back. He's got something to go back to.
And she's fighting to bring them back.
Yes.
So that is what she has to do.
I just honestly think they should have picked a little character here and there, like some of those people from Doctor Strange's crew. Just these main, like, they don't have to be major characters, but they need, like, the whole building blew up, nobody died, and then he rained about 1 million bullets on a battlefield. Yes, they had shield, like umbrella shield. Okay, that might protect some of you, but there was people flying around. Why didn't they die?
I did expect more deaths.
And also,
agree with that.
like, I don't know, like, when I thought Captain America was dead when he got punched in the face by Thanos on the floor, but yeah. Mm-hmm. And also, Captain Marvel was heavily underused.
I was glad that she wasn't used more.
She almost just came in to just tie up a little thing and then she was gone again. She got punched out of Battlefield.
She came in to do exactly the same thing she did in the film, which was destroy a massive battleship.
Yeah.
And we said, we actually said in our Captain Marvel podcast how she's so strong she can just destroy a battleship like that. What's she going to do to Thanos? And she comes in and destroys a battleship.
Like, because I was excited to see her as a character, like, develop, like, even more in this film, and they just completely almost wrote her out of it. It's again, she was like an afterthought again in this film.
Do you know what I did like? The Captain Marvel scene I liked was the part where she grabs his fist, which basically mirrors the Captain America bit where he grabs his fist, but he wasn't strong enough, but she was, and it's basically like this is the new Captain. Yeah.
Do you know what my favourite part of the whole film was, though?
I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
Was when Captain America picked up Thor's hammer.
That was brilliant.
I was like, oh shit. Now this is good.
How loud were people in your cinema at that?
They were like, when they were fucking whooping.
Yeah, I went to see it at 4:30, so it was packed with like school kids, teenagers.
I was packed with responsible adults.
No, yeah, I know, because you went to Central, I went to West Norwood, but it was packed with kids. And when that moment happened, they were like fucking whooping and hollering, man. They loved it.
That was pretty good though.
Something.
That's a big moment. Like, he's finally achieved enough to be able to pick up that hammer.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe it's because I just saw a bunch of them in quick succession. But him getting that hammer, being able to hold that hammer, was not all that impressive to me, because I've just seen in quick succession 2 other characters wield Thor's hammer.
Who?
Oh, like the Vision.
Vision and one other. There's one other in Ragnarok, I think. I don't know. Somebody else is able to wield his hammer.
Odin does it, doesn't he? I think.
I don't know. Someone does it. But you know what you were saying about Shazam in that Shazam episode, Adam?
It was Hera, by the way. It was Hera, the baddie.
Fine.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever that is, I don't even know who
It's
that
his
is.
sister.
Oh, the woman? Yeah, his sister. Exactly. So
Yeah.
it wasn't that big a reveal. But you know, Adam, you said about your Shazam, you looked around at the crowd, you saw the kids, and you were like, this isn't for me. So that's what I thought at the beginning. As the lights went down in this screening, I thought, do you know what? I can't sit here and criticise this film, because it ain't for me. This is for a new generation of kids. This is for the teens and whatnot. This is for the teens or actually your age, Adam. And I don't mean that in a patronising way, because it's been 11 years
me and
you're
Paul
24, 25. Yeah, Paul's too old for this shit. Don't kid yourself. Paul's far too old for this shit.
No, but it's the people who's watched. Think about it. It's 11 years ago. So what was Paul? He was 16 when, weren't you? So it's the people who've grown up. This is like a series of films where you've grown up.
Did you say I was 16?
You're 27, aren't you?
10 years ago.
It's 11 years ago, isn't it?
10 years ago, I'm 29.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay, so you're 19 when the first Iron Man came out. Or 18 then. So, like, it is a thing you have grown up with these films.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing, right? And I sort of got it, and like the way that the crowd were reacting to like when certain moments were happening, I was like, yeah, that was good, but the crowd were loving it so much, and I'm like, well, look, I'm glad that it's working for people, because that's the thing. I'm not going to diss these Avengers films anymore, because I'm past that sort of thing. They're not all for me, and some of them have really surprised me. This one surprised me; it was really good, and Ragnarok has, and others have. But by the same token, within 10-15 minutes of the film, I realised, hang on, look around this cinema. There is no way they are going to kill more than a couple people in this film.
Yeah, I know, it just felt too safe.
It's too... Yeah, but not because of what was happening in the film, but because of who watches it. There were so many parents that are taking their kids to see it. And I'm like, they are not going to kill off many characters because it'd be too traumatic for the kids.
You say that they're not going to kill them off, but I mean, like, that Loki scene in Infinity War was brutal.
I know, but you could almost say he's a bad guy.
But you don't need brutal. I don't care. You don't need the deaths. Don't need to be brutal. You don't need to see the deaths.
No, of course.
You just need to see that people aren't safe.
Brutal.
That's all it needed. You just need to be reminded that this is the end game, and this is it.
Yeah.
You know the final battle where they're all having a go at Thanos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting more people to die, though, I was thinking, oh shit, is this where Captain America dies? Is this where Thor dies and whatnot? Because on Twitter, I mentioned it to you guys, I saw a tweet on Twitter that said Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans give the performance of their lives in an emotional whatever. And I thought, okay, that means Thor and Captain America and Iron Man all die. So when it was just that Iron Man died, I was like, oh shit, okay.
Captain America's send-off was... I very much enjoyed that as a little... That was a nice story. That was great.
I was talking to someone at work about this today, and do you know the worst mistake about what they did with the Captain America thing at the very end?
It shouldn't have been him at the end. It should have been a symbol. He should have left them something.
No. They should not have cut to him dancing with that woman for the final scene.
Yeah, they didn't need to.
I know what you mean.
It didn't need to. What it is it's drumming it in for thick as shit Americans. Sorry to our American listeners, you're not all thick as shit, but Americans love
was a spell
fucking
out.
closure. And it's like, oh, so when he said, when Falcon said, whatever his name is, Falcon, I don't know, is that what a black guy's called?
They ruined Blade Runner, they ruined that.
When he said, do you want to tell me about her? And he's like, no, I don't think I will. We know who the fuck he's married to. You don't need to show us. We know. And when they showed us, I'm like, okay, this is why these films do me in, because there's nothing subtle about them. They don't leave you to think for yourself. They drum home every fucking thing.
It's almost like Falcon saying, "Are you going to tell me about her?" And it's almost him saying, "I don't think I am." It should be, "I don't think I'm going to show you to the audience as well," because it's like this is my memories. I did it for me. I didn't do it to show the audience, kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed with that as the final shot, but I was glad that he went back in time and just...
It was a nice rounded up.
Yeah.
But I must say, as an actual film, though, it was brilliant. Like, in fact,
it was a hell of an event.
Funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It's funnier than a lot of comedies.
Yeah, it was, and even it's not a comedy, and yet it was one of the funniest films we've seen in a long time.
Thor was funny as hell, man.
Okay, what did you think of Thor?
I thought it was so good, so funny. It didn't annoy me. I really liked the Thor.
No, I mean, I like Thor as a character, but the fat suit after a while, it was... When he was dressed up as a dude, I thought that was hilarious. But
I wasn't sure about it first, but then I kind of grew to like it. I thought he looked quite cool, like a Viking kind of version of himself by the end.
I just wanted to go back to Thor, though. I wanted to just go back to being like as you remembered him. But yeah.
Yeah, well, when he put his armour on, they pretty much forgot that he was a fat bastard because they were sort of playing him like just a muscle man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I must say it was very funny. It was quite emotional. Like, I'm not even talking just the Iron Man and Captain America scene, but like I've got the whole battle scene when they were all coming out of the circles. That
was cool. I liked it.
Like I kind of like you're almost welling, like not crying, but like there's a lot of emotions going on because you're like proper like wow, like
from the moment you said on your left and the Black Panther crew came out, I was down for that.
Yeah.
But you know what I didn't like in that battle scene? Is when all the women lined up. Because it was so... It was
obvious. It
was far too obvious. Because it's like, she's Captain Marvel. She doesn't need any of you for a start. And there is no... Basically, do you know what it was doing? it was saying, right, we've neglected female characters for the most part in all of these Marvel films. They've been side characters, and only recently, because of the current climate, have they started coming to the forefront.
Yeah.
So we need a really tacked-on scene showing all the women coming together, even though the majority of this film doesn't really give a fuck about the women characters.
That's the only thing I feel like with Marvel and with female characters. Like this whole Black Widow film, it's too late now. Like, you gave Captain Marvel a film, and yet you haven't really used her to an actual character.
Yes, indeed.
And what do you call it? Black Widow herself was just a mother to the whole Avengers.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She was like, I'm here to keep everyone together. Like, has the
she was the one fighting to bring everyone back because
yes.
But
It's almost like she's strong as a mothering character, but as it's the whole thing going back to where we talked about women representation in film. It's like you need other. She's almost a damsel in distress, but she's at home in the core in the middle or something like that.
I quite like that scene. I understand it was very obvious and why they're all the women in the same place at the same time, just waiting for this one scene to happen. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's kind of showing the future, because these are all the future characters, and pretty much half of them are women, and they're all main characters.
Who are the main characters out of that, apart from Captain Marvel?
Basically, the other girls in the new four.
If they do a movie about her, that's not interesting. The storyline should be done.
That's what it is.
Well, oh god.
She's like the Valkyrie, isn't she? She's one of the,
she's
the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
See, this is what I mean. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this film is now the end. I won't go and watch another Avengers. I'm perfectly happy with this being the ending now.
I would love it to be the end.
I'd probably end up watching another film, but I'm not going to rush out anymore. I'll watch them here and there, but this is it. It was a good ending, and the fact that there wasn't any end credits as well was a nice. It was like this.
But
is it.
that's sort of feeding into this should be the end. Then the fact that there was no post credits. Stop making more.
Stan Lee's not anymore, is he?
I hate the idea. No, I didn't like his cameo either. They shouldn't be making any more now, because it sort of undermines the value of this film. Just let it be in people's imagination. The only reason they're making more now is for money.
It's going to be such a downer, the next film.
Yeah, there's no stories left to tell that we give a fuck about. It's like nobody would give a shit about Black Widow.
It's just starting from scratch.
It's like Spider-Man. Where are they building up with these films now? Where are they going to? Like, when you were watching the films before, you always knew they were leading up to another Avengers film, but they probably won't do another Avengers film in the same way again. So it's almost like the whole thing is just going to carry on now, but just loads of individual tales.
There needs to be a new franchise now. There's always going to be franchises that are mainstream. I accept that. So it's time for a new one. Let's stop with the Avengers and let's create something new. Avengers is done. Huh?
Like DC.
No, but DC's done. Let's have something original. Start a new original franchise. We've had the Star Wars of our times. We've had the DCs of the 90s. Pirates. Well, that's hardly comparable, but yeah, that's all.
It's never going to stop.
It's time for a new one. Harry Potter.
Twilight.
Let's leave this Avengers alone.
Yeah,
I agree. I'd love it to be ended now.
It's why it wasn't. It is a bit annoying. It is a bit like they can't let it go.
Let's talk about the film. Actual details about the film now.
Yeah. What did you think about how skinny Robert Downey Jr. was at the beginning?
I loved that.
Yeah.
I think
that was
it
a good touch.
Good.
But I wanted him to die then again at the beginning. If they killed him off at the beginning, I know it would have changed the whole storyline, and it would have. Well, you couldn't really because he was the film. But again, if they had done it then, it would have set a tone for the whole film.
What did I say to you boys before the film? I said no. What I would love to see, but it's not going to happen.
People
dying
for no
reason.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson and Robert Downey Jr. both died to help the cause, rather than being attacked and killed.
Like in the battle, nobody died because they didn't die for no reason. Yeah, I don't think even any of the army, the actual soldiers in the army, died.
No.
It was there was that was one thing I was disappointed at, but the film as a whole. Let me tell you how I felt about when I was watching this film. Okay, so I got to about halfway through when they were going back in time, getting all the stones, and I was like, this isn't as good as Infinity War, right? This is like a 9 out of 10 at the moment, and then it kept going all the way up to when they got back, and then Thanos comes. And I was like, this is still not a 10 out of 10. Surprisingly, when everyone comes back through the portals, that was when it was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Because
that's the
was
pinnacle.
that was so emotional. I cried.
Oh, look, this is the boy who barely cries at anything.
At what point?
I cried. Okay, I cried when Captain America said "Avengers Assemble."
Oh,
God.
gods.
I
You
cried.
are a marketer's dream,
With the
mate.
longest pause in history between the word Avenger and Assemble. They could have
I
made the film
cried.
3 hours, not 3 hours and 1 minute with that bit gone.
You cried when he said, I am Iron Man.
I'm Iron Man, and I cried when Pepper Potts started crying.
Oh,
When who started crying, sorry?
When Pepper Potts started
Peppa
crying,
Pig. Peppa Pig rocked up towards the end.
saying that he can rest now. It hit me, man. It got me.
Well, look. I'm glad you're in touch with your
I
emotions.
could honestly, I could see why. Yeah, I don't really care for Iron Man. He annoys me quite a bit, to be honest.
Iron Man, my favourite character.
Thor's the best character.
How about Fat Thor?
I'll take Fat Thor over Iron Man.
I'll take Skinny Iron Man over Fat Thor.
You take Dead Iron Man over Fat Thor. I also thought the very opening scene with Thanos was great.
Yeah.
What was the opening? Right, when they found him.
Yeah.
And they cut
That
his head
shocked
off.
me. When they
I was like,
shot
bad.
It
Like,
shocked
wow.
me. I was like, oh shit, they're going to take Thanos out straight away. I was disappointed. I was like, you can't take Thanos out straight away. He's the best part about this.
I did think, like, what are they going to do now?
Do you know what was the biggest disappointment for me with regards to Thanos? Was what I wanted to see was Thanos having made the snap, coming to terms with what he had done, and them dealing with that villain. Rather than the Thanos that we actually dealt with in the film was the Thanos who had never done that and was like, so there was no character
There was the same
growth.
Thanos again.
Any sort of, there was no character growth or evolution from where we left him at the end of Infinity War. What we
get
got
that.
was just evil Thanos without that humanity. You know, by that point he hadn't sacrificed his daughter or anything, so that was just like, okay, I'm just evil Thanos. And it was like,
Even
no,
less of a Thanos,
let me see
basically.
something. Let me see some compassion, some humanity. I need to open this door. My cat's gone mad. Hang on.
Would Thanos have to deal with the evil villain though? Because he was so set upon this, and he never showed any remorse, even at the end of the film, for killing all these people because he is so set upon that goal.
I know.
That
But that's what.
he
But
doesn't
yeah,
see it as a bad thing. So he wouldn't surely have to deal with any inside trauma as a villain. He'd have to. He's happy, and he was a. You're like Shrek
yeah,
living
it
in
seemed
his
it,
little-
but I would like to have seen him
Swamp.
actually coming to terms. And what I wanted to see was something in him that, basically, I'd heard this theory that Thanos was going to go back in time and encounter himself before he found the Infinity Stones, right? And that
Right.
because he had seen what he had done, he was going to try to stop himself. And that was an interesting dynamic in theory, and I had that in my head. So when that didn't
It happened
happen,
with
I was like,
his daughter instead, didn't it? Really.
I hated. One of the reasons that this gets a whole star knocked off was the focus on that blue bitch. I don't know her name. I hated her
Nebula.
so much. Nebula. I hated
no.
that character. I hated the focus on her. I hated the actress. I hated that role.
She was a nothing
altogether.
character. She's a like.
So then,
Yeah.
why they spent so much time on her?
But because she's
They
key.
did give her a lot.
Her character, her position as a character was key between being in the Avengers and being with a Thanos. But her actual herself as a character, she was not an interesting character.
She was
No,
not.
she was a side villain for Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's all she was.
I was
And they
very
kind of just made a
disinterested.
role for her.
Do you know why it lost a whole star for me?
Why?
Personally, because they said Back to the Future was bullshit.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
oh, we're not going here. That's a step too far.
Does the time travel make sense to you?
In a way, yeah, it does. I
In
like
this
the
film.
idea of it. I like the idea.
It's just simple, isn't it? It's not this whole thing. It's just okay. That's it.
But
That's how it
why?
works then.
But why are they going to an alternate timeline, not
Yeah.
their own timeline? That's what's happening, right?
They're creating a new future. So when they do that, they are changing the future.
Yeah, but they're not.
No, it spirals off, didn't it? Because that girl was like, "Oh, when you do this, it will make
That's
the line
what I mean. So
take off."
So clearly, that's not what they're doing. They're basically because if they were changing the past, that means when they go in the future, then nobody would have disappeared. So
Also, they went very interstellar with the whole engine thing. I was like, "Oh boy, I'm not getting my head around this thing again."
Let's not compare this to Interstellar. Steady
Yeah.
on.
I think what
more
my
like
grasp
Dylan's
in
head.
it,
Yeah.
my grasp in it was they went to a different timeline altogether,
Yeah, another timeline.
like another Earth, like an Earth
Yeah.
2.
Borrowed the stones, and then they were going to go back and put them there. So that
And when they
could
put
carry
them
on.
back, then the
Yeah.
timeline would sync up again.
Yeah, their timeline would carry
So
on.
effectively, when we've left this film, it's on a different timeline, and we'll have to watch a whole other film to watch the timeline go back.
That's
No,
what
no,
Avengers, the real Endgame, will be in 7 years' time.
They're making a TV series about it instead. Is it? Oh no, no! Didn't Captain America go and put them all back?
Yeah, Captain America put them back.
So yeah, so it's already
See,
finished.
but then this didn't make sense. Okay, so
Why did he pop up on the bench and not back in
Captain
that thing?
America went if it was in a different timeline, then if Captain America went back to the other timeline to put him back and stayed there, then he wouldn't be in the same timeline.
But why didn't he come back onto the thing? Why did he suddenly teleport across the room?
Because he came there on that very day when he knew it was happening.
Yeah, that means he's invented time travel back in the future.
You can't anyway. Whenever you analyze time travel in any movie, it never.
I know you
holds
can
up.
always tear it apart.
Back to
Yeah.
the Future, it
It's
completely
just-
works. But yeah,
That's why Back to the Future.
he's the most realistic time traveling film ever.
Yeah, that well, I guess in a way, yeah. Do you know what about Hulk? I was a big fan of that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fine.
Yeah.
Banner as Hulk like that was very good.
Yeah, the computer effects were brilliant.
Yeah,
I
they
totally
were.
believed it. He
was
kind of
good.
he was kind of a bit cocky. He turned into a cocky kind of Bruce.
And that's because
He's finally happy as a character. He's
yeah.
finally found out who he is, and he can be comfortable and then
Yeah,
let himself.
yeah.
I
He's always
even
been
didn't
fighting
mind
his demons.
Ant-Man. I thought Ant-Man was pretty. Ant-Man was funnier in this than he was in his whole damn film.
Because his films are the standalone films are not that good.
Yeah, shit.
They're very thin in the story.
Yeah,
They're
awful.
very
Dreadful.
Especially the second
they're
one.
comedy based, aren't they?
Dreadful.
But yeah, I like the Hulk. That was good.
Hulk, very good. So let's do some other characters we haven't talked about.
I enjoyed Hawkeye as a villain. I quite like that bit.
I love.
I'd
Renner.
like to watch a film about that.
I love Renner so much, and I was glad to see that there was so much focus on him in this. I thought he was going to be sidelined, so I was happy to see it.
Yeah,
I could watch Renner in any fucking thing, man. He's
he's
just
good.
He's great. And you notice,
Even in The Bourne.
yeah,
No.
I went to the cinema to see that one. I quite enjoyed him as that Bourne. I
He
think
was
he
fine.
got short
All,
shrift. He
all
got.
roll into one though, didn't they?
Yeah, they all roll into one. I didn't when that Star Lord came back. I don't even know his name. Quill. I was glad
Yeah.
that he didn't get much screen time at all. But obviously, he had to just annoy me straight off the bat. Honestly, and the thing that's annoying about Thor joining up with him is that that means Thor's going to be in the new Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, this is the thing because I thought his contract has ended.
He'll be in it, mate. And do you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what's the biggest shame about that? Is that we're going to have James Gunn direct that, whereas Taika Waititi should fucking carry on Thor's
They
story.
should have
if anyone's gonna do it.
kept him in the film as well. When he came back as his Stone Man, he should have
Yeah.
joined up with them. And did
I
you
know,
like? Dan pointed this out to me afterwards that his character was wearing that pineapple suit costume thing, which is what he wore to the premiere.
Oh, that's very good.
Oh,
When
good
he was
one.
when he was playing as. Did you appreciate the Fortnite? I bet you
That's
loved
very
that
good.
bit.
Who
But
else?
I do like Thor with Quill because it kind of stops him being an egotistical twat because he's always kind of like.
Yes, I like the dynamic. I've got to admit, I did laugh at the dynamic at the end between the two of them, but like I refuse to watch anything with that.
It stops him from being the centre of attention.
Yeah.
Also, I could care less about him and that green bitch.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Dead.
well, obviously that's. Well, I guess the next one's going to be him trying to find her.
What do you mean find her? There she was.
No, because
Yeah, but
at
she
the end
doesn't
it was
know
a
who he
screen
is.
saying searching, and they were
Oh,
searching
right.
for her.
Yeah, but she's dead. She's in a fucking lake, isn't she? She's not coming back.
No, but the new version.
I didn't care enough to follow that train of the storyline.
Yeah, well, I didn't care either. It's fine.
I was very happy when Ant-Man burst out of the rubble at the end, very big.
Yep, holding them all.
I was
That was
annoyed he
very
didn't
good.
go Thanos' bum.
Yes,
But I'd give it 10 out of 10.
I thought they should have at least referenced that joke because so much nonsense had been written about it. I thought that it should have been a throwaway line.
What did you think of the snap at the end, killing them all?
At first I was a bit like, like, how does that work? But then you got to remember that you could do whatever you want with the stones. It's whatever you tell the stones to do, they do that. So you don't have to kill half the planet. You can just say, I want to kill all those guys. or I want to make everybody Iron Man, kind of thing. Apparently, that's how it works.
I like that bit when he was struggling with Captain Marvel and he wasn't getting anywhere, so he ripped one of the stones out to punch her.
Punched her into oblivion. She didn't come back to the funeral.
That's true. Yeah, that was funny. I liked when I've forgotten it now.
Do you know what I thought was going to happen? Do you know when Hulk snapped his fingers to bring everyone back?
Yeah.
And then Ant-Man goes outside and said, "I think we did it."
Yeah.
And then the explosion happened.
That they all were going to die.
Imagine they all died. And
I would have loved that, mate. I would
so
almost come close to giving it a 10 out of 10 if that had happened.
Well, if they'd all died in the house and everyone had to come back and save them.
Yes. Well, not save them, no. Just let
them
die. But they bring the others back.
I mean, you can't survive an exploding house like that.
No, I know, but you can in Avengers Land because the films are made for 10-year-olds.
And I thought it was quite sad when Rocket was underneath the rock saying, "I can't breathe."
Yes.
I was thinking, come on, if he died, this would be so sad. I know. That's what I thought was happening. And that would have been brilliant. But obviously it didn't happen, but...
Here's another thing that would have been brilliant. At the end, when all of Thanos' people are fading to dust, Thanos is the last to go.
Yeah.
I wish he never faded. And that
his
punishment was to live with it. Yeah. I thought that's what they were going to do for a while there because it lingered on him, and I thought,
he's too powerful to leave alone, though, isn't he? Really?
And Tony Stark wouldn't have done it.
It's an excuse to bring him along again. He'll come back.
I would have preferred it.
Yeah, it would have been nice. I thought they were going to do it as well, but that means that he could just do it again. So why keep him there? So were we happy with Tony Stark? His end.
Yeah, I thought it
was a nice ending for him. I just don't care for him as a character.
I do care for him. I'm not annoyed by him as many people are. I like him as well. I would have said he was my favourite up until I saw Ragnarok, and then Thor totally takes it.
Yeah. What I love about his character was they gave him a brilliant end because he's always worried about saving people, and he always struggles with when someone dies. It plays on his conscience so much. And this was his big moment, and he just saves everyone.
When he was arguing with Captain America at the beginning for the whole...
Yeah, and it's like, now your character can rest because you've done exactly what you're supposed to do. And what you wanted to do.
Except you didn't want to die. You wanted to live.
And you sacrificed everything and left your wife and little girl alone. That was the one thing that he wanted. He was like, these are the two things that I cannot lose. Oh, guess what? They're the only things you fucking lost.
Well, you
won everything. You beat Thanos, but you lost the two people you did.
Pepper understands.
Purple bastard.
Didn't she?
Well, that's a fucking understanding wife.
She got a suit out of it. She's happy.
Gwyneth Paltrow's I hate her.
Do you wish her head was in a box?
Yeah, that was her best role.
What else can we say about this?
There's more to say. I've got more to say. What was the thing now? Oh yes. So quite significant. I think that at the end you could see what they were doing. I think it was a bit clumsily handled personally, but all the handovers to the new generation was trying to show how diverse they were, because not only are they giving it to...
Or like Captain America's now can be black.
Yeah, so that... But also Thor handing things over to that woman. It was like, we're taking it away from traditional white male roles, and now we're passing it over to a newer generation of sex and race. But it's kind of like, I didn't like the way it was handled. I'm glad that it happened, but I thought it was a little obvious to me. Because why did he hand it over to Falcon? That's the guy's name, right? Falcon?
They're like good friends, yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Falcon. He's the one with the big bird.
Yeah.
His best friend in the whole thing is Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
Winter Soldier.
You got to think about this, right? So Falcon's been there with him since like the second film, right? And he's been by his side, his proper sidekick. And Bucky, who was his best friend, they were pretty much fighting the whole time. So why did they hand the shield to him?
Because by the end, he's his best friend.
Yeah, he's his best friend, but it's not his best sidekick.
Also, Falcon's already got his own suit. What makes he think like he wants to give up being a bird so he can have a shield?
Now he's got a bird shield.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to be Captain America. He's not going to be able to be super strong and wield Thor's hammer and all of this. He's just going to have a shield as a bird.
So? You're not saying he's not good enough?
No, I'm just saying, what makes you think that your shield's better than him being a bird? You might have to appreciate what he's got already and think, hang on, he might be happy with what he's got. Why do I feel like, I'm better than you?
Well.
Look, mine obviously better than you if you always want to be me, no matter what you've got. Let's
What are
be
you
me.
talking about?
I don't. He's lost me so much. I was being quiet because I was trying to follow the conversation, man. That was confusing me so much.
He's basically putting himself in the shoes of Falcon, saying, "Hang on a minute, what are you saying? My suit's not good enough." That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
It isn't.
he is saying that.
To be honest,
I'll be
though,
like-
his shields, his wings can make a shield in front of him, so he probably doesn't need the shield.
Yeah, exactly. And also, his shield fell apart. Falcon's wings didn't fall apart.
Anyway, he needs to go back to rapping with Eminem in 8 Mile.
He didn't even
He doesn't,
rap.
because he chokes, mate.
Huh?
He chokes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I think he's better off flying.
Did you stay for the credits?
No, because I had already heard that there was none.
What about you, Paul?
There was.
There's a sound.
I didn't stay. Yeah, I didn't stay to the end, but I knew what was at the end, so I didn't stay.
There's a sound. It's like
It's
metal on metal.
basically-
It's like they're making a hammer
Yeah.
or something like that.
No, it's Tony Stark building his suit.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Oh, that's quite cute.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think the sound was taken from when he's in the cave in the first Iron Man.
Very good.
Yeah, very nice.
Nick Fury only got like 5 seconds at the end.
That's
They
fine.
gave
he
him
could-
all that
he does
exposure
enough.
in Captain Marvel.
That's
why
so he
they-
could be in the
that's why
highest
they were
grossing
only
films
a
and beat Stan Lee, isn't it?
Yeah.
That Stan Lee cameo. Talk to me.
They could have done it better elsewhere.
Yeah.
There was a lot of better older characters. He could have played the security guard that the guy from
The
Hangover
shame of
played.
it is they obviously didn't know that he was going to die, so they were just like, "Oh yeah, we're going to give you this cool 70s thing." And once
Yeah.
if that's all they'd filmed, then that's all they can do. It's a shame that that's his last one
Yeah.
because it
Well,
was
apparently
a bit
they
shit.
filmed one for. Apparently they filmed one for Spider-Man, but they thought it was better to finish it here than it is to
Yeah,
do it
exactly.
in that.
Do you remember what he said?
He said, "Peace, make peace, not war," isn't it?
Make peace, not war, or something like that. Give peace
Okay.
a chance, or something.
Okay. At least it's a good message.
Damn hippie.
Man made his money off war, even with his fake war.
One thing I really liked was when Rocket and Thor went to Asgard, and then he grabs a stone, Rocket, and he's running away, and all the guards are chasing him, saying, "Catch the rabbit."
You catch a rabbit, yeah.
Yeah. Thing is, though, loads of people were laughing throughout the film. They didn't laugh at that bit, and I thought inside that was quite funny, but I didn't laugh out loud. But nobody else in the cinema laughed at all.
I think it was very subtle.
Yeah, but
What, the
surely
rabbit bit?
there was about
Yeah.
300 people in the cinema. One of them must have heard it.
That should
Also-
Beach House Central crowd for you.
They were
Very
laughing
dignified
throughout
and
it. They were
silent.
laughing and they were whooping and they were getting very
There you
highly
go.
involved. There was a lot of people dressed up and
Idiots.
one guy left as Black Widow and Hawkeye were walking up the mountain and came back after the scene had ended.
Oh, pissed.
I was like,
Idiots.
pick a worse time to leave the cinema.
Okay, this talk about a big thing that we haven't discussed. Did anyone need the toilet while we were watching the film?
Oh no, I made sure of it.
I
I
needed
I
a
drank
toilet
very
for the
little
last
throughout the
hour,
day.
but I can hold it because I'm a fucking grown ass man.
Yeah, I was, but they would hold it as well. But probably about halfway through, I was like, I need a toilet.
I drank very little throughout the day.
I had one beer.
I
I hadn't
prepared
drank
myself.
at work much, and then when I arrived, I thought I'll take 1 pint in with me, and I milked it, and it lasted me about an hour and a half. But as soon as that hour and a half point hit,
I had a
was
little
like, now
bottle
need
of
the
water
toilet.
with me because I had a sore throat and I needed to soothe it.
Oh, diddums. Should have had a little pastel in your mouth.
I had your pasta in my mouth.
Good, good, good. Now, what's the next thing to say?
Um,
I hated the taco.
Yeah.
Why bring up the taco? Why
Yeah,
was that
taco
even a
was silly.
thing?
Yeah.
That was silly. Is that a reference to something?
No, he just sat there just so that the taco would blow away.
So that's stupid
Because
as hell.
surely he saw the spaceship coming from far away.
Yes.
It wouldn't have just suddenly arrived.
No.
spaceships are quite quick though.
Well, it took ages to land.
What do you think about Natalie Portman being back in it?
That was
What,
very
for-
quick.
For
I
3
totally
seconds.
forgot.
Yeah, because she's not very well liked within the whole Avengers world, is she? Because of she slagged it all off, didn't she?
Well, then why did she come back for it then?
Paycheck,
She's obviously
son.
needed.
I know, see? Hypocrites.
Literally every character was back again apart from Anthony Hopkins. He was the only one who didn't come back
Why not?
Oh yeah.
because he's a renowned actor. Even they got Robert Redford back, and he was meant to be finished with the old man and the gun.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that
That's
as well.
true.
But maybe he probably did it before.
I mean, I did enjoy this film. I've got to admit, I enjoyed it more. This is, I mean, it's
Yeah.
top 3. I'm trying to decide whether I enjoyed this or Thor Ragnarok more. I think on a personal level, I enjoyed Ragnarok more. But
I'd rather watch Ragnarok again, but as an actual film, I think this is better.
well, yeah, because it's got shitloads of money and it's throwing loads of stuff. It's lots of.
It
it's a
is the
big
wait.
fucking
It's like
battle.
you've had to wait for this.
I did
Yeah.
think that last battle was fantastic.
Apart from the fact that it didn't really.
Oh,
You
yeah.
knew that it wasn't.
Apart from people not dying, it was brilliant. This is like, look how far this franchise has come. This franchise has come so far, and so many characters, so many like
People have come
well-established
together
supporting
from
characters
around the universe have come together
Yeah.
to take this man down
Yeah,
and
and
fight with
brilliant.
you.
And Yombe,
What's that?
Yombe.
Yombe,
Don't know what
They
that
didn't
is.
do Wakanda Forever, which I wish they did.
Yombe.
Oh right, that's what they were saying. I see. Yeah.
The best bit of the
That's it.
battle, again, well, maybe apart from, was when Black Panther picked up the gauntlet and he just like fucking people up. I was like, oh, you go, boy.
No, Black Panther dropped it straight away.
Yeah.
He didn't. He took people out.
No, Spider-Man had to save it.
Do you know when the horn was beeping? I was half expecting to see Michael Penner stick out his head
When
out the
the
window.
horn was beeping.
If
the
that Michael
young man-
Penner, if
right.
that Michael Penner had turned up, he was
In
the
the
most
wi-
annoying thing about Ant-Man, man. I hated him. He's crap in everything. He plays the same fucking role all the time.
He
I
just
really
leaned out
don't
the
like
window and
that
just
guy.
gets fucked up.
I really don't like that guy.
He just plays a stereotypical Latino, and everyone knows, like, oh, we need a Latino. This is
I
getting
know.
him.
Stop giving that cunt work. Why does everyone love this so much? Let's get to the point of it. Tell me why this is so popular. All these Avengers films. Why? It's not just that there's money involved.
No,
And there's
this-
fights. What is so good about it?
The reason why this is so popular is how long it's been going on for, and how much of a big fan base it's been brought up to, and everyone has seen a Marvel film. You can't get away from it. It's everywhere. So
Yeah.
coming to this film is such a big event that everyone's been watched. People have grown up with these things. It's like Harry Potter. It's just it's in pop culture. It's everywhere, and it's just massive. So why wouldn't it have a big following?
It's not about a big following. It's why it's loved so much.
Because they
Because
did it well.
everyone's grown up with it, and it's done well.
But people can grow up with whatever they choose to grow up with. You can choose what it is that you watch and grow up with. Like people could choose, if they wanted to grow up and watch all the Twilight films and adore and love them. Like I'm obviously not talking personally, but that they could choose to do that, or they could choose to immerse themselves in the DC films and get super hyped about
and
that.
get super let down.
So what are you asking?
It's why what is it about Avengers? What that
You can
that
say the
has
same thing about
won
Star
people
Wars.
over-
Why did suddenly
like,
Star Wars blow up? And
yeah,
why
Star
did they
Wars
do
is
it?
something else, man. Though that's
I think it's easy bandwagon to jump onto. It's very accessible. It's action, which is a genre that everyone can jump on. It's like if you say Star Wars is very specialised. It's
it
science
translates
fiction.
in so many languages as well. You
Yeah.
don't have to know a lot about certain
So-
things to enjoy it.
so you don't need to use your brain very much with it.
It's
No.
very accessible for a lot
Yeah.
of people.
You don't.
So it's the movie equivalent of watching the soaps in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it is.
Yeah,
They
No,
let it go
it
for
is.
so long that enough people
because
got
you
on
don't
board.
because everything's spoon fed. It doesn't require any interpretation from you. It doesn't require any further thought afterwards to work out motivations or discussions of what certain things meant. It's all laid out for you, and I guess that is why it's so popular, because people are like, I didn't have to think about anything at all. You just like injected movie heroin into me, and I'm just riding on the wave of it.
Yeah.
And you fall into one bracket. Everyone who went into this film and gave it a 10. No, I don't mean this about you, Paul. I'm talking generally about people like on Twitter widely. Is people who already went into it knowing they were going to give it a 10 because
Yeah.
it was about this is I know exactly
As long as
what,
it wasn't
what
a
this is. I love
letdown.
this. Yes, but they were always going to give it a 10 because
Yeah.
they knew it before they'd even seen it. And why did they know
People
it?
were
Because
clapping the
there
film
is-
as it started. People in the cinema were cheering when
There's
the
not-
cue
there's
card
nothing-
came up.
There's nothing
Do you know
new
what
or
is-
inventive about any of these films. Like, even in this film, there was nothing new or inventive. It was cool to see. I enjoyed it as well. I'm not dissing it, but it's like these films don't push things forward. The Dark Knight is the absolute pinnacle, the bar that you have to reach to push things forward. That, for me, is a million times better than this.
There's many in any film as well.
same.
Not just superhero films. The Dark Knight is the pinnacle in a lot of films. You maybe say an action, and just as a
Dark
general.
Knight transcends genre.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, but why then? In a world where that existed and was made 15 years ago, how is it that 15 years later this
Because
needs to be held to a higher standard?
They didn't go for that.
It's not that kind of film. It's totally different.
I know, but it didn't have to be. It's,
you know what?
It's a more brainless.
It's built
You know what?
anticipation.
It's almost like going on a roller coaster. People know what they're going to get. They go on there for the thrill, and it delivers. That's what they're doing. Jumping on a loop the loop and going, yeah, put your arms up, and that's what they love. So
what do you think of movie fans who say that they're movie fans, but the majority of the stuff that they watch is this kind of stuff? Are they movie fans, or are they fair weather?
I think there's different tiers of movie fan.
You can enjoy cinema in any way you want to enjoy cinema.
Oh, look at you two. You're being very diplomatic.
You are, but you can't question someone because it's like people
like,
who say they enjoy music, but they just
all right, but wait,
music.
there's no. Well, I'm talking about movie fan, like hardcore. If someone says I'm a hardcore movie fan, right? I'm a hardcore movie fan. What's your favourite movies? I love all the Avengers movies.
Listen, anyone who says that, they're a dick.
Well, but they're out there. They're out there, mate.
If someone says to me hardcore movie films fan, you say, have you seen this and this and this? You knock certain films off. If they say no, you go, okay, you're not what you would perceive as a hardcore movie fan. And you can't knock them for saying it.
We'd say, are you a hardcore film snob? And they'd say, have you seen Trip to the Moon? Yes. Have you seen The Great Train Robbery? Yes. I was like, okay, yeah, you are great.
What do you think of Iron Man? I hate it.
I'm just being a bit difficult as well. Part of me is, but part of me... See, this is my relationship with these films, right? From an outside perspective, if I didn't watch any of them, it would be easy to tarnish them all with the same brush and say they're all just shit. What I've learned and how I've grown since we did this podcast is that there are some good films in there.
They're enjoyable.
I wouldn't have watched Black Panther without you guys. I watched Black Panther, and that's my favourite out of all of them. And Ragnarok was very good, and this was very good. And so I understand that there are levels and that some of them can be very good. But what I don't like, what I sort of rally against, is this thing like that.
Why
this
is
what
the biggest cinema event?
Yeah, I hate
in the last 10 years.
Yes, and that this is what gets the focus because it's not just about money. In the 70s, listen to me. In the 70s and the 80s, films that were going in the cinema and selling out and making fucking money were films like Goodfellas and Taxi Driver and The Exorcist. These big classic fucking amazing films were the main blockbuster events. That was the stuff people were queuing up to see. And why? Because there was so much buzz about those films. But now the buzz is created around these films. And it's like, what happened to us,
the last big event was Harry Potter. The last probably big film that's come along on this scale, you could maybe say there was a James Bond film, if thrown maybe Spectre, for example.
In the 21st century, it's Christopher Nolan. That's it.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying a film that's created this much buzz. Like, it made £170 million within, 12 hours. And it had not even been released in America in that time.
I feel like I shouted. I'm very sorry.
I'm feeling like there's not been a film that's come along like this recently. I saw someone from the film 8th Grade, which comes out today as well, and they tweeted it saying, it's being released this weekend. There's nothing else on the cinema, trust me. I've just checked.
That's Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham, the comedian. He's the guy who wrote and directed it. Bo
You
Burnham's
might have
funny as
retweeted
hell.
it then.
And 8th Grade, yeah, I liked it. 8th Grade is... I've been wanting to see this for ages. When I was in Wales last year, I heard him do an
It was on at the
interview
Picture House the
with
other day.
Mark
Francis went to see it.
What did he think?
He loved it. He gave it 10 out of 10. But then he also gave this 10 out of 10.
Mark Commode made it movie of the week for this week. He put Avengers in second place.
Nice.
He would, though.
Yeah, but he said he enjoyed Avengers. He said he got
Mind you, he does
twice.
like Marvel films, doesn't he? He does like superhero films to an extent.
No, he doesn't.
He appreciates them for what they are.
Yeah, but he said it himself that they're not for him. He likes Twilight and loves Twilight, unfortunately.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Or just
he's a wrong one then, isn't he?
Everyone has their weaknesses. I'm looking to get into it myself, actually.
why?
Don't, please don't.
Well, why?
You'll get. Listen, the payoff at the end is not good.
Well,
There's a CGI
Kirsten
baby.
Stewart annoys me.
They didn't get a real baby. They got a CGI baby.
well.
That's a massive spoiler.
It's horrible.
Man's
I
gonna
don't
start
wanna know
watching the
anything
series.
about
Oh yeah, there's a
babies.
baby at the end.
Yes. Anyway,
So let's just talk quickly about there's maybe two of the biggest things in recent years in the world of entertainment coming out in a week. You've got Avengers coming out, and then you've got this episode of Game of Thrones coming out.
Lovely.
do you
And
think
you're
that
gonna
this
think
one would
how
dwarf
this
the other?
I honestly, I've got higher expectations for Game of Thrones. This is why Avengers in my head as well. It's been like I've kind of almost forgotten about it because Game of Thrones that's the date I was looking at, not. And it's going to be the completely different thing because you do know going into that Game of Thrones episode, yeah, probably a lot of the main characters might get through it for story reasons, but you know there's a good chance that they're not.
More.
You
die.
know that everybody could be dead who is in.
That's the thing.
Winterfell.
It feels like
And you wouldn't be
anyone could
surprised,
die.
and you wouldn't be like, "Oh shit!" Like that is the whole thing of let's not be safe with stuff. I mean, they're completely different audiences, and they've got completely different creative ideas, and I mean, they're going for completely different whatever. You know, they're just not the same
Yeah.
level. But it's just how these two massive things are going to take almost. It's almost a Game of Thrones Endgame versus the Avengers Endgame.
Do you know what the
isn't
thing
it,
is?
this
Sadly, with
episode?
Game of Thrones, they're backed themselves a little bit into a corner here now, where they've got
gotta
a
do
few
it.
they've got a few narrative plots that need to play out, and the only way they can play out
It's
is
just
for
certain characters
to survive.
Yeah, and that's why this
Yeah.
whole thing is in my head. It's like, it's a bit. It's almost going to think in my head, how can Jon Snow survive? Everyone should be theoretically dead. How can anyone survive it? But someone's got to survive it for certain stuff to happen. I'm just very excited for Monday.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
And this film was beautiful too. But Adam, so let me just say, so you enjoyed Infinity War more than this?
I've recently changed my rating of Infinity War down
Have
to
you?
an 8 as well.
To what?
An 8.
Okay.
And Paul, what have you do? Did you drop your Infinity War down to a 10? No, you didn't. You stuck with a 10.
Yeah, start with a 10.
I think
Yeah.
they're equal films. I think they're both as good as each other. But I feel Endgame could have been the step up. It had the potential to, and it let me down by the fact that everyone felt safe. And I was talking to Francis, Dan, and Luke, who I went to see it with afterwards, about this, and they were like, "Oh, it's not that type of film." I was like, "It doesn't have to be that type of film. It's just got to make you feel like they're not going to be. They could die."
Absolutely.
But you didn't. You didn't feel it, and also it was predictable in places quite a lot.
You know what? It's like, yeah, exactly. It's about how it makes you feel, regardless. Like, if you watch James Bond, you know that James Bond ain't going to die.
But he
You
doesn't
know
need
that.
to
There's a
die.
guarantee, but it's not about that. It's about, okay, well, tell me a fucking fantastic story around it then. And Avengers never, ever have. The closest they've come to telling a good story has been this Thanos one, and that's why I rate it higher. But ultimately, they cop out because Iron Man dies. That's it. Iron Man dies after 11 years. So what? He's been in 5-6 fucking films. There was no great surprise there. They just killed off a character because his contract was done.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I know.
but it's still a great film.
Paul's given the only 2 10s we've ever done, and they're both for Avengers.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was 3 hours long. I didn't feel bored. It was very well done.
Should be ashamed
It
of
was
yourself.
almost well written. It was kept you emotionally, kept you entertained. It was funny. It was a great film. It's like a piece of cinema, like pushing the limits, as you could say, almost of
Do you
cinema.
think
But it
we
let
are
itself
going to
down at the same time.
be able to make sure this film isn't the best film of 2019, please?
Well, we've got
Yeah,
Once Upon
we'll
a
be able
Time
to
coming
top
out.
it.
The
We've got
only
The
way we're
Joker,
gonna the only
and
way
we've
we're
got
gonna do it
The
is with
Irishman.
3 9s. We're never going to agree.
We've got a
Paul.
Tarantino film coming out this year.
We're
Yes.
going to do it. We'll be
I'll
able to
give
top it.
Tarantino a 6. I'll tell you this.
I can honestly see this film. I was saying this to Dan. I like the IMDb rating for this film. It's probably going to be like a 6.5.
I'm not looking forward to this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't feel like
It feels like a bit of a mess.
It does, but also it just doesn't feel like the
And
kind
I
of
feel
film
like
I'm
I've been
interested in seeing.
exposed to too much of it
Yeah,
already.
there's no hype at all around it for some reason. Like,
Do you know what's
Quentin
annoying
Tarantino
about
normally
this
has
film?
that hype.
Is it
Yeah.
comes out 3 weeks before in America.
Yeah,
So it comes out the middle of July in America and we get it at the beginning of August.
So the hype would have been dead by the time it gets to us.
Well, no, because it will just get hype over here, but I'm excited for The Irishman.
Because
Irishman.
especially if no one's bigging it up in America.
Well,
Yes.
it's not. It's only been a trailer, really, and a couple of photos.
I know. Anyway, we're all going to give Joker 10 out of 10 anyway.
No, well, I'd be more than happy to. I look forward to doing that. Do you know what? We haven't talked about this. Doesn't that trailer for the Joker really make you think of Taxi Driver?
Yeah.
I
Totally.
saw a edited photo today where someone had mashed up. It was the cover of Taxi Driver, and it was Jacqueline Phoenix standing there as the Joker.
Jacqueline
What's his name?
Phoenix.
What's his name? Well, fucking car.
Jacqueline Phoenix with Brian Crescent.
Yeah,
Yeah. Jacqueline.
Another one for the bank. Jacqueline Phoenix.
yeah. But yeah, he was
Joaquin.
standing there. Joaquin Phoenix. He was standing there.
Jacqueline.
Yeah, he was standing
This is a
there.
real good story, Adam.
I'm just like, it's funny that Ben said that because
Jacqueline Phoenix overrided your Taxi Driver story.
I know, it's been ruined. Everything's over. I'm just going to leave FilmBusters.
Adam,
Ben's
listen.
getting married by the next podcast. That he's gone. Paul's got his child. He's hanging on by a thread, and I've just ended myself by can't saying someone's name.
By ending your
FilmBusters
life.
is dead. FilmBusters is dead. There'll be no
Adam,
more
listen.
busting.
Adam, where do you put this in relation to Us, Glass, and Green Book? Can't believe you gave Green Book an 8.
I
Silly
gave it
boy.
a 7 since I thought about it.
Well, tough. We're sticking. Where does it rank in Us, Glass, and Green Book?
Green Book's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Glass. This. Us. I still don't know how I feel about Us. But the thing about Us
I'm
now
not sure how I feel about Us
is
either.
I've forgotten about it.
Yeah. Until
I
I just said it just now, but yeah.
I hadn't forgotten about it for weeks. I mean, I don't think about it anymore because it fades, isn't it? You're not going to think about it for the rest
Yeah,
of your life.
but I'm like when I was watching it, I was thinking I'm gonna rewatch this film soon. I still think, but I just kind of almost forgotten about it now. I don't care.
Yeah, but you will watch it again.
I will watch it again.
I feel like it was better than Us. Yeah, I'm going to put it above Us. God help me. Well, look at that. My top 2 films of the year are both superhero films. So, there you go. I'm not the film snob after. But my bottom film is... my bottom 2 films are superhero films as well. So there you go.
What are your bottom two?
Captain Marvel and Shazam.
I personally give Captain Marvel a 6 now.
Well, tough,
I
mate.
would change
You
it. on
can't change
Letterboxd.
it for the podcast, though.
No, I won't change it.
Concrete.
There's many ratings I would change for the podcast since, but
So this wrap this up with our nice little one-word description.
Yeah.
Epic.
safe.
Impressive. They kind of don't go hand in hand. This is the
No,
first time the
I don't even know how
word
to say
safe
that
is a
in a sentence.
curveball.
Yeah.
A safe yet impressive epic. You
Yeah,
have to throw
that's-
yet in there.
Yes.
reorder the words and it would work.
That is a good description of it, though. Yeah, it
An
is.
epically safe. No, an impressively safe epic.
Impressively safe means it was It was so safe that I was impressed. They took no risk at all. It was impressive. There was no surprises, no good performances. It was just so safe. It was fucking epic.
Well, those 3 words can stay separate. We won't put them together.
Oh no!
What a lovely episode this was.
What a very lovely one. This was a very well discussed and quite a lengthy one, I think.
Okay, you guys can get in touch with us at FilmBustersPod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or you can email us at filmbusters@outlook.com. We also have our individual Twitter accounts. I'm at FilmBustersPaul.
I'm at FilmBuster Adam.
And I'm at FilmBusters Ben.
Is it FilmBusters or Buster?
Busters.
Sorry.
Okay.
What is the name of the podcast?
Yeah.
I don't know if we dropped the S. I can't
That's how
remember.
selfish he is. He goes singular.
Okay, I'm the
idiot.
FilmBusters, Adam.
Very well corrected.
And one final thing before we end the podcast: who gave in this entire movie? Whose performance as a whole did you enjoy the most in this movie?
Captain America, I think.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, I would say Thor.
Oh, look at that. The trio.
It's because
Captain
you love Thor
America's
from
the
last
worst
time.
person to say, mate. He's
Yeah,
so
Captain
dull.
America was the worst.
He's never impressive.
But I liked that he was like, he cared for people. He did his therapy group.
You liked his false teeth at the end.
I prefer. Thor was my favourite character in Infinity War. But
He was around for about 5 minutes in it.
He held back a star, and then he also had the best. He had the best moment.
He held back a star, sir.
They didn't
held
put
that-
Tyrion in it.
And when
He did.
he turned up at the end in that battle, when he comes flying in, that's goosebumps.
Oh, well, wonderful. Good. Glad you enjoyed it.
FilmBusters.